Now, one more thing before we get kicked off, I just want to share this with you guys because I was amused as hell by it. Has nothing to do with the training. I just think it's funny. Uh-oh, Daddy Lindsay's mad at me. Daddy Lindsay is mad at me. Daddy Lindsay is mad because I sent out a screenshot of Daddy Lindsay's tweet. And I said, I'm going to start a poll to predict when Daddy Lindsay explains to his audience that the reason they want to abolish parental rights is because they believe the nuclear family upholds capitalism through social reproduction theory. Reply with your predictions. And Daddy Lindsay, well, he has me blocked on Twitter, apparently is keeping himself apprised of what I've been tweeting. I can't imagine why you would do that, James. I can't imagine why you would be interested in anything I had to say at all, James. You blocked me on Twitter for criticizing Moms for Liberty. And so Daddy Lindsay said, I'm getting slightly tired of people sending me screenshots of these dumb outbursts, so I'm commenting only once. I've been talking about the problem of reproduction since at least 22 at the latest. Anyone who has listened to my talk or interviews or read my books knows it. Well, Daddy Lindsay, I've been talking about it longer than that, bro. So I'm glad you admit that you were still, even when you started talking about social reproduction theory, and notice he doesn't actually say social reproduction theory, he just says reproduction, the problem of reproduction, which is not actually what I'm referencing, James. So it kind of seems like you don't know what you're talking about, which is a little bit confusing for me because I thought you were the granddaddy expert on everything. But if you only started talking about it in 22, I was talking about it before that, James. I've created more abolish the family content than anyone on the internet. But like I said on Socialism Saturday this week, we're just happy, James, that you've caught up to me. We're just happy that you caught up. And you can have these little outbursts all you want, Daddy Lindsay, but I'm still years ahead of you on this. And guess what, James? My audience understands it better than your audience. I don't care if you did a random podcast or touched on it briefly in the midst of a 4-hour lecture on Marcuse. I don't care. You want to know why, James? Because your audience comes into my feed pretty much on the daily at this point, bro. Like, I hear about this all the time. They come into my Twitter. They come into my email. They come into my chat. They send me private messages. They say, Carlin, I've been listening to James for years and he never explained this to us, or I didn't understand what he was explaining because he doesn't speak clearly and he speaks in all this verbose language and he can't stay focused on just one thing. He pings around to all these different things. And I didn't understand what any of this meant until I came to your stream and you explained it to me clearly and you repeated it over and over and over and over and over because James... You can't just say something once in the middle of a 4-hour podcast and expect everyone to learn and retain that information, James. Aren't you the professor? I am but the lowly psychologist that just dabbles in this stuff on the side, Daddy Lindsay. Aren't you the professor? Don't you know this? Oh, no, you don't, because you're not the one repeating this every single day like I am to my audience. Repetition, repetition, repetition every single day. So you can pretend, Daddy Lindsay, that you're ahead of me, but you're admitting in this own tweet that you're not. You're also, by the way, Daddy Lindsay, saying that I'm getting it right. So I do appreciate the compliment, James. I appreciate you acknowledging that the things that I've been saying on the internet about parental rights longer than you have, bro. I appreciate you acknowledging that they're right. And I'm not going to stop subtweeting at you. I'm going to use every single tweet I can in order to teach your audience things that you are not teaching them. I'm not the one behaving irresponsibly in this scenario, James. You are the one behaving irresponsibly. You are the one who is letting your ego get in the way of actually solving a real problem in the real world. So if you don't want to do it, bro, I'll do it for you. It's cool, man. It's okay to be behind me, James. It's okay. It's okay. Maybe, James, you can come to Socialism Saturday with us. Maybe if you come to Socialism Saturday, James, you will learn how to explain things as clearly as I do, and you'll learn how to repeat it over and over and over and over and over again, and you'll learn how to quiz your audience so your audience can actually teach it back to you. And maybe, James, if you do that, maybe your audience will become smarter than my audience regarding what's going on in the world. But if you want to compare your audience to mine, I'm happy to do it any day, bro. My audience will completely trash yours in any sort of competition about who knows more about social reproduction theory, abolish the family, the attacks on parental rights, all that stuff. James, your audience doesn't even know how the left defines capitalism, which is private property ownership. Your audience doesn't even know that the left considers the family to be the means of production of capitalism. And that is the means of production that they're trying to control. Your audience doesn't know this, James, because you don't explain it to them. All you do is re about Moms for Liberty getting attacked every day on Twitter, white knighting for Moms for Liberty, rather than explaining to your audience what's going on. But you're welcome to unblock me anytime, James, if you actually want to have a serious discussion about this. But, you know, I really think this will be the last time I address this little outburst of yours, Daddy Lindsay. And I will keep subtweeting you and taking screenshots of your tweets that people send me and using you as an example as much as I want. And you can have all the feelings you want about it. And I don't really give an F. I don't give an F. My priority is to teach people. Your priority is to on Twitter.